Hello and welcome to another video. We're back on FIA Manufacturer. This race popped up and I just had to do it. Interlargos, I always love Interlargos. Not necessarily great here, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, so we did the old qualifying and I was about 11th or 12th. Did 2 laps, and on my second lap I just banged in a really good time. I didn't have any slipstream. I've got no idea why it was so good. But as you can see there, as we go down the grid, we are in the old Jag. We're in 3rd place, so I was well happy with that. Like I say, no slipstream, so I don't really know how I managed to do it. Anyway, this race was quite an interesting one for lots of reasons. You had the choice of mediums or softs, and you had to use both. I decided to start on mediums. Right, let me just cut back to the race. So it's a rolling start there. Unfortunately, while this was rolling, I was not paying any attention to the screen whatsoever, and when it went 3, 2, 1 and you put your foot down, I didn't even have my foot on the accelerator. So you see we get taken straight away. We had the worst start ever. Completely froze me. I completely mess up this first turn and compromise myself, as you can see on the exit there. I just managed to hold together, go a bit on the grass, but really compromised my speed. So we've gone down to I think it's 7th or 8th place on the first couple of turns there. Completely my fault, not concentrating, not watching what I'm doing. Absolute stupid mistakes. I was really cross with myself, but that's like I say, it was quite a good race, so we'll stay with it and hope things can improve. Now let's come back to the strategy. As I said, 2 tyres available, mediums and softs. Now I took some advice from Tepic, one of our Monday night drivers, about starting on mediums. I do prefer to do that for lots of reasons really. I knew being that high up, 3rd on the grid, everybody around me, probably the top 10, are all going to start on softs to try and get away, you know, get some good lap times, get a nice gap in and try and get away. The problem I find with that is if you do get stuck, and obviously that was my fault when we stuck to start, but I'll be back in 7th now, fighting on soft tyres, really burning them up quickly and not getting a full advantage. So I took Tepic's advice and started on mediums. What that meant was you could do a longer stint, so I think about 10 laps-ish on mediums and probably 8 on softs, although your softs are going to be knackered. So although I completely messed up the start and went back, I knew all these people around me were on soft tyres, so A, they would pit before me, and B, in the second half of this race, they would be slower. So I kept my head down in 7th place, tried to not burn my medium tyres because I wanted to go as long as I could. My idea was if I could go to lap 11 on mediums, I would have 7 good laps on soft tyres, where hopefully people will be on warm mediums and we can pick people off at the end of the race. It is a risky strategy because obviously because we're so far back in 7th, you know, 1 to 6 potentially in this phase of the race could drive away from me, and they'll be just too far for us to catch after we do the pit stops. But we'll wait and see, and it's going to be really interesting to see how this race pans out. And indeed, you just saw me cycling through the cars there. I was just trying to see what tyres everybody was on, and as I suspected, as I said earlier, they all are on soft in front of me. So the fact that, I mean, obviously I'm not right on the back of them, but I can see the train, as you can see it in front of me there. They're not actually getting away that badly, and I suspect that's because they're fighting, but that's brilliant news to me. And then you see all of a sudden I catch up to the back of this Peugeot. Now he's really struggling. His front tyres are really bad, so I caught up to him quite nicely. So this is starting to come our way already, because we're catching up to the back of that Peugeot quite quickly, and then in front of him there's a train of cars which are all sort of fighting for position, and obviously while they're doing that they're losing time. So this really, I just knew if I just drove carefully, didn't make any more silly mistakes like I did at the start, potentially this race is definitely going to come back to me later on, after the pit stops. Now we've just skipped on, as you can see we're in first place. That's only because of pit stops, okay, so everybody's pitted, and I just kept going and kept going and kept going. We'll skip it forward a bit now to my pit stop. So although I'm in first, obviously I'm not in first really, so we're going to see where we are when we come into the pits. I believe we're coming into the pits now. No we're not, maybe next lap. We'll skip it on a bit more, sorry about that. Yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to come into the pits now. We're still in first, but obviously we won't be after the pit stop. But it's going to be interesting to see where we actually come out there. Second place actually follows me into the pits, so he must have had a similar strategy to me. Right, we're in the pits, which seems like an age, and obviously we're going to lose some positions here. But let's see where we come out. Okay, and we are coming out the pits now. We're still on the pit limit, we still don't know where we're going to be. Right, and out we come. It looks like we are in 8th place, which I was hoping to be a bit higher up than that, if I'm honest. But don't forget, we're now in 8th place. We've only got 7 laps to do. We're on the fastest tyre, the less bit of fuel that we need. And most of the cars in front we know are on mediums, and not only are they on mediums, they're on warm mediums, because they all pitted lap 7 or 8, so they pitted 3 or 4 laps before me, so those medium tyres that they're on are 3 or 4 laps warm. So I knew we were going to catch these cars very quickly. Again, the problem, not the problem, but what you really have to be careful of is not come out the pits and go like a bout of hell, because if you do, you just mess your tyres up. So as you can see there, we've already caught a few places up. We've just gone past the Ferrari, who was in 6th, so we've currently got 5th. He's really struggling for tyres, you can see. So my first couple of laps when I come out the pits, I was just very careful. Tried not to mess my tyres up, tried not to go wide, tried not to slide on them, and not go too quick. Obviously picked the pace up a bit. The Ferrari there goes for a move up the inside. I let him go. I thought it was a silly move, because I know his tyres are absolutely shot because the difference in performance that I've got over him. So I'm not sure why he went for the move, but I thought I'm not going to risk spinning or a penalty. Just let him do the move, and I'll take it back at some point, either during this bit or on the straight, you know. And as you can see again, we've easily took that position back. Obviously it's a replay. Sorry, this is a replay of him taking position. But yeah, no, I did think it was a bit odd, because you know, I might have been a bit slow on one particular corner, but he's no threat to me. We're going to get past him quite easily. And as you can see, we changed camera. Look at the difference we've got. I'm being very careful so we don't hit him, but look how slow he is through the corners. We're on the old bonnet view now, but he's just so slow on the corners, and I'm just trying to be careful not to hit him. And I think I decided to go for a move once we get up here on the old straight, try and get a good drive off there. His tyres are worn, he can't. Look at that speed difference. We're easily going to be able to take him, I would have said, down this start finish straight. And indeed we moved to the inside to make our intentions clear that we are going for this move, and move done, not a problem. Well before the end, we can brake early, we've got our line, there's nowhere for him to go unless he tries around the outside, and that's another car dispatched. Somebody up ahead has got a penalty, which you can see. So that's good news. I can't see how long it is, but nevertheless got penalty. They've moved over to the left. Now this is interesting here. We get obviously a good ride up to here, but the car goes wide, and the guy that had the penalty moves on the inside. I decided to follow him. I made a quick decision. I thought, yeah, I'll have some of that. So I stuck it in behind him and followed him through. Unfortunately here, the other car gets a move back done on us, so we're just having a little replay now of the incident that just happened. So yeah, like I say, the other car went wide and the Peugeot made a move up the inside, and I thought I'll have some of that, and I quickly made the decision and jumped up the inside there and got the move done. The Peugeot then is just a bit off the racing line, takes a bit of a funny line which forces me wide, and then the other car, I think it's a Porsche, makes the move on us both. But then again, he gets a penalty fighting with a Peugeot. So again, this is all playing into my hands because while they're out of position, they're burning their tyres. One of them's got a penalty, and because they're fighting, they're slowing up. Yeah, we're in a good position. We're currently sort of 4, 5, 6. We're in a sort of battle there. And the old Nissan's turning up now as well. He was just took opportunistic moves there. While all that was going on, he chucked it round the outside and has made it stick. But I'm still confident. We're in 6th. I'm still confident we can have a good race here. We've just gone up. We're 3 abreast on the start-finish straight. Fortunately, it's a really wide start-finish straight. But we just got there in there with we're in there with a 4th place, as you can see. We've got a good drive. I don't think the Peugeot is going to be a problem. Excuse me. I think the Nissan's going to be more of a problem than the old Peugeot here. Fortunately, we've pulled away from that Peugeot a bit now. He's really struggling on tyres, which is really good. We're up to 3rd place, has got a penalty there, so we've gone past him, and we're up to 3rd. And as you can see, we are in fact on the last lap. Unfortunately, I made a silly mistake there. I was unsighted by the Peugeot, the guy that had the penalty, and I just went wide, lost a place, and got a penalty myself. It's only half a second, but the problem is when you cross the line, that's going to be a second because it's the last lap, so I can't lose any. So what I had to do now was chase down 3rd, even though we're not going to get 3rd, just so that we didn't lose the 4th place spot, because those cars behind, if they get to within a second of me, when I cross the line, I'm going to lose a place. So this last bit was very nail-biting, quick as I can, trying to get up to 3rd place. Even though we're not going to get 3rd place. The 3rd place guy in the Porsche was a bit slow, and I don't quite know what happened, because we sort of do get a massive run on him here, and he tries to sort of push me off the track. Not sure why he did that. I weren't going to beat him, I just didn't want to come 5th or 6th. He pushes me off for really no reason. He's going to get the 3rd anyway, so a bit silly, but there we go, we cross the line, and we do indeed keep our 4th even with the penalty. So really good race, really enjoyed it. Thanks to Tepic for the strategy there, worked like a dream. Anyway, hit the like if you liked it, and I'll see you in another one. Thanks for watching.